Hi, everyone, and welcome to this summary episode of Words with Dawn Thomson. Having a word with me this afternoon is the lovely Alvina Menes. Hi, Alvina.
Hi, hi.
How are you doing on this lovely day?
Very summery. It's lovely. Solar
Yeah.
powered by that sunshine.
Oh, gosh, solar powered, it makes me just want to power down and just bask in it. It's lovely to have,
Mhm, mhm.
isn't it? So good.
Totally.
Welcome on to the show, and thank you so much for coming.
Very well.
Gonna have
Delighted
a
to be
word
here.
with you. And for people who maybe do not know Alvina, she's the most amazing woman and she's an inner confidence coach. Can you tell everyone that's listening a little bit more about what you do, Alvina?
Of course. So I love to help individuals reconnect with what I call their inner anchor, which is your inner energy system. And I help them do that through awareness, alignment, and activation, and hold nice, safe spaces for them to grow and to become more confident in themselves.
Honestly, I can tell you she is absolutely phenomenal at this. And I mean, as somebody who also helps people reconnect to themselves, Alvina is just absolutely fantastic. So would highly recommend a little five-star review there anyway.
Very
But
kind.
let's hear your word today. I'm so pleased that you're on. I'm so excited to hear what you're going to say.
Okay.
What is a word that you are living with or liked or just want to share with us today?
So my word would be alignment.
A good one. Tell me more about that.
Okay, so alignment isn't in my work that I do by chance. It's very much about reflection on my life. And I chose the word because even as recently as last week, there were some decisions to be made, and I was making them in a particular state of mind. And
Mhm.
once I removed that state of mind and got back into alignment with what truly matters with me, for me, and to me, um, then I was able to make a better decision. So I thought alignment would be a good word to
For
bring.
sure. So not only is it something that you practice, but it's something that you've been experiencing and living with yourself over the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, and years. We all have. But the recognition when it comes round, you know that you're doing it. That's the difference. I know that I'm
Yeah,
doing it now from the wrong, misaligned place.
I hear you. And so, what was the place that was the wrong place, if you know what I mean? What was that? Was
Here.
that into society, or what was that? What was that for you?
So that particular one that I'm happy to share was about feeling from a place of fear.
Okay.
So it was someone telling me I had to do something for
Mhm.
their benefit by a particular time
Uh-huh.
or and
Sounds a bit like a threat
yeah,
when you say it so simply.
so that's how it landed in my mind.
Yeah.
And in the moment it was like, okay, all right, I'll do everything I can. People pleasing came out, the whole frustration, like, oh, okay, 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 and it felt that kind of bullying scenario where it was like, okay, I'll just do anything. I'm the bad one almost. Um, and yeah, I couldn't make a clear decision because I wasn't aligned because they threw me out of alignment into that state of reaction, which I know that you very familiar with the work that you do as well.
Yeah. And it's really interesting. And it's important for people who come to see people like Alvina and people like me that actually, we have these moments of getting, I call it abducted back into old stuff or
Yep.
something that, and we're always working on ourselves. And that lived experience is more able, gives us a chance to really understand what you're going through. But, I remember a friend once saying to me, oh, I thought you had everything sorted and that you wouldn't have any problems. And I was like, yeah, but I'm also like a human being who
Yeah,
lived.
yeah, absolutely.
And so, how did you realize that you were out of alignment? What was going on for you? What was the experience that showed you that you were not in the right place to make the decision?
Yeah, so there's like a heavy feeling
Mm,
you get when your mind is so full,
mm,
and there's that panic going on, and that adrenaline starts to rise, and you're like, oh, I can't find a solution, I can't find a solution, I don't know what to do, how can I do this, who do I need to help? And it's almost like recognition that that victim state's coming back in and going, oh, poor me, I need help, I need help, I can't do this on my own. And all
yeah,
those thoughts, the best way when I know that that's happening and being aware of it happening now much more acutely than ever
yeah,
over the last 7 years, not before then when I was in the corporate world, but beyond when I came out of there. That awareness and slowing down. So that's one of the biggest things is just stopping and listening, knowing that this is happening, but then observing it and thinking, oh, okay, I understand why I'm reacting like this, why my body wants to go to sleep, why I can't think clearly. And then just kind of welcoming that in a little bit,
mm-hmm,
taking the space. So going to bed under the duvet, sleep, and get the nervous system back to where it needs to be.
yeah,
And it's like mindfulness, I guess. So coming back to the present and going, actually, within the next hour, is there anything bad going to happen? No. So why am I feel so much fear? Like, why am I doing this?
yep,
Why am I letting myself feel like this? Like, why am I not taking control? Because the ego and the brain's going crazy at that point in time.
mm,
So yeah, being aware of it and creating a pause in between. So slowing down and allowing that to process and giving yourself, how people say, sleep on it overnight. It's a real thing.
yeah. There's a reason for it. I know all these phrases that we've had through the years that people know it's just old wives' tales. It's just things.
Yeah.
No, absolutely, I agree.
Yeah.
And do you feel then that it's the allowing, isn't it? It's the allowing, seeing, because quite often when we're frightened or we're feeling we don't know, we just pile recrimination on and you should know. And oh my God, why can't you get this sorted out? And then it's just getting bigger and bigger and it escalates and it makes it even more difficult to align with
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah. You're like, I'm an adult. I should know the answer. I'm a mum. I should know the answer.
And then you go, adulting's a scam. Like I keep
Yeah.
saying,
I don't want to be an adult anymore.
yeah, it's crap. I didn't ask for this. Well, I maybe asked for it when I was 7, but I didn't know what I was
Yeah.
talking about. I was 7. I was only young.
Yeah, and I
Um,
think it is just that recognition that when you're in flow, you're in alignment, your body, your purpose, your heart, your mind, all of that, when it's in a lovely flow, things feel good, decisions feel good, and it's that feeling in your body. But when you're in that reverse state of fear or chaos, confusion, all of those horrible feelings, like you just know that you're not going to make the best decisions or say the right things in a meeting or whatever. And I can remember quite a few meetings in the corporate world. I would have been better being in flow before I went into them.
and yeah, and that's really interesting because you were talking about how it's been 7 years
Since
since you left the
coming
corporate
away.
world and things have shifted. So can you tell me a little bit tell me the story around that? What happened there and what made you go, do you know what, this is not for me and move into this space?
Oh, goodness. One more word, burnout. Emotional burnout.
Yeah.
For a number of reasons. For a number of reasons. There was the pressure of the job that I was in at the time. Obviously, the environment was not a growth environment, which again was out of alignment for me and my values. There was a bit of fear in there as well, I would say. So a little bit of,
Okay.
having to toe the line, but not truly believing in what you were having to do. Not for me, it was about people.
Yep.
We were not treating people the way that I would want them to be treated and had worked so hard for them to be treated. So
Mm.
that for me created that, like I said before, like that heaviness, but I
Yeah.
didn't recognize it as that at the time. Um, and then my husband also was terminally ill, and that was just the uncertainty of that and the anticipatory grief of that, and not knowing when and how and what the future held if I did come away from that stable world, except it didn't feel stable to me. But the
But it was what
perception
you knew.
is what I knew. It was what I was familiar with.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. And that just led me to just pressing the button and saying, right, I'm done, stepping back. What do I really, really love? I love people. I love having social impact, community, and how can I best serve people and the human race, basically. And I had to
So we need
step
it.
part of that. And that was when I just was open my mind, realized there was so many other ways out there than that I didn't know because I was too busy being busy,
Yeah.
doing
Yeah.
what I was told to do.
It's a great distraction, isn't it? Busyness.
Yeah.
Because
Yes.
actually fronts
Yes.
up to the stuff that you really have to deal with. If you keep yourself busy, then yeah, you haven't got time to think
When I
about
think
why you're
about that.
happy.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
And so coming out of that then,
Mhm.
and oh, and sadly losing your husband, and I'm so sorry that that happened. Is that those, was it those kind of things that did the alignment for you come after that time, or was it during that process?
No, I would say I felt most aligned beyond that because it's been more about who am I
Mm-hmm.
when I've not got the conditioned person in there who gets up at 9, goes to work, well, gets up at 6, goes to work for 9, comes home at 8 o'clock at night. So when I lost that routine and that familiarity, that in that space was like, who am I? What am I doing? And I had to create new routines, family routines changed, and things just changed over a little bit of time. But I would say in the last 5 years since he's passed, and I say this with love and compassion, but actually the gift he's given is for me to actually identify what most aligns as me, as just Alvina, not Alvina the mum, Alvina the wife, Alvina the worker, the
Yeah.
provider, whatever that hat
Yeah.
is at that time. And no regrets, absolutely whatever in any of those roles I've had in the last 50 years, but this opportunity to say to slow down and take time and say, actually, what do I really truly love? Where do I thrive? Where do I get frustrated? And learn just more about the human mind, the human body. And the deeper and deeper you go, you can't quite get out and you keep swimming in.
No, no. And it's so interesting, and isn't it? And you just want to know more and more. And,
Yeah.
it's that. And so much of it, I want to ask you a little bit about choice in terms of this alignment.
Yeah.
What, particularly for people listening, if people are in that corporate chaos and are like, oh God, this is really speaking to me, so it will be speaking to a number of people.
Mhm.
What, how did you manage to become more aligned? What was it that drew you towards that place of alignment? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Um, Creating space to think. It's that busy, it comes back to that busyness. We keep busy, we keep distracted.
Mhm.
We go holidays, we plan this, we plan that. What do you want to do in 5 years' time? We'll have a plan. We've got lots of actions to do. It's actually just create a little bit of space. It doesn't need to be anything dramatic that helps you. Just even hearing a podcast like this, hearing someone say something, is just actually, do you know what? I'm just gonna slow down and reflect
Yep.
and feel like imagining yourself in your job, in your role, and really feeling whether you enjoy it and love it or feel creative in there. And if that would be my natural state. So if I didn't feel creative, a bit of freedom, independence, and this does relate back to then, I just didn't know at the time. But in that role, if I'm too confined, I can't be my best self. I have to have the freedom, the independence to add things in or to do something different or to think of a different way to do or solution something. And without that, I wouldn't be in alignment. It wouldn't feel aligned.
Yep.
If someone sat me in a room and said, right, get through those 10 things and get them done in 5 minutes, I would freak out because that's just too like just too black and white for me. My,
Not
my
complete.
little my little brain wants to go, but what if? Oh, what if? How about? How do you
Yeah.
know?
So
Um,
much about the lateral thought, isn't it? Rather
yeah,
than
yeah. And I
this.
think about a lot of the words that are misaligned for me personally and my values, and it is like judgment, isolation,
Mm,
chaos. I
mm.
really struggle with chaos. And when there's chaos around me, it throws me into this kind of like, stop. I just go into the freeze mode. Um, and limitation, you can only do this because it's in your job description, or you're only capable of this because that's how who do you think you are being an entrepreneur? Who do you think you are changing your career? So just to your point, if someone's in that world and can't see what might be out there, what opportunities might there be? Like it's like some people will be saying to you round about you, saying, "Well, who do you think you are? You've got a good job, stay where you are." But
Okay.
but your creativity and your soul is like, "Oh, I can't, I need out, I want it," shrinking. Yeah, yeah, shrinking. So it's having the time, creating a little bit of time, doesn't have to be a lot of time, but time to just think, actually, am I feeling good in what I'm doing? And if I'm not, it doesn't have to be dramatic. Again, it's okay, what could I do differently?
So
What
glad you said that because
choices
I was
might
going to ask what was a question that you would maybe that would maybe benefit the listener if they're thinking, right, I've got 20 minutes, but I don't know where to start because the chaos is swirling, or the societal construct is weighing so heavy on me that I need to be this guy or I need to be this kind of woman.
yeah.
So I'm glad that you've just asked that you've said, yeah, ask that silly simple question
Hmm.
and see and be honest.
Yeah. Could I do anything differently to make me feel happier, more joyful, more creative, more of a better leader?
Yeah.
Uh, yeah,
Because we're all leaders, aren't we, in a
yeah,
way.
absolutely.
And people, I think people forget how much power they have in their connections with people and how much you influence. I know all the young uns like, oh, I'm an influencer in this and I'm an influencer in that. But we're all influencing each other.
Yeah, yeah. The human race, the human race.
Yeah,
And I think even just connecting with how you describe how you're feeling
mm-hmm.
and not being judgmental of it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I am feeling afraid because I'm not meeting my targets. What are you afraid of? And then just kind of unpicking it and going, be curious. Why? How? Why might I be feeling this? Well, I'm feeling out of control because or how do you regain the control then? What's the one thing that you could do that gives you a bit of a relief in a feeling? So you're less fearful or less confused. Um,
How do you think, Alvina, people will know that they're in flow? How do they know when they're aligned? What what can they look for? What's the data that shows them that they're
yeah,
more aligned than they think?
they,
From
they feel alive, they feel happy. They feel happy, they feel joy, their body feels lighter. They have a passion for anything that they're doing, whether it's passion for their work, for their hobbies, for their family, for their life. It's when it goes into that muted state,
Mhm.
almost like you're just, like I'm just trying to think of I'm seeing this visualization of tar, like wading through
Yeah,
treacle,
walking through a treacle for sure.
tar treacle.
Yeah,
Like it feels difficult. But if it feels easy, then you're aligned and you're doing things you love. But if it feels difficult, then it's likely to be the misalignment. It'll be the opposite of
yeah,
what is a good value for you.
yeah. And I quite often find in the way that I work, so I know we kind of do the same thing, but in a different way. So it's
Yeah.
quite interesting to kind of exchange notes on this. My glasses are steaming up, everybody. This is the hot weather and perimenopause coming in right now. Look at my glasses, honestly.
Oh my goodness.
It's the excitement of the chat, Alvina. That's the
It
problem.
is, it is. It's because
Yeah,
we're passionate. It's because we're passionate,
it's
Dawn.
because we are passionate and a bit sweaty. But anyway, yeah, I mean, I find that if I'm in alignment or when I'm in alignment, because I feel like the universe is a kind of holographic space and
Mhm,
we're creating our lives all the time,
mhm,
that once you're in alignment, the world brings in stuff
mhm.
to show you that you're in alignment,
Yeah,
you
like
know?
confirmation.
Yeah, total confirmation because you're shaping it and the universe is going, oh, so you're on this is Dawn's wavelength, which has got all this great stuff on it.
Yeah,
And I quite often find with my clients, if once they're fully remove all the blocks, it's
yeah,
almost like Christmas Day. They'll be like, oh my God, this has happened, and this and this and this and this within 3 days. And I'm like, yeah, the
yes,
universe has been storing this up for you.
yeah, yeah.
And then
And
it's
it's
like,
self-trust, isn't it? It's just trusting yourself a little bit more than you did yesterday in that moment. It's just trusting that you're making the right decisions.
yeah, backing yourself
Because
in.
if it wasn't, if it, sorry, if it was aligned, it wouldn't feel like a decision you have to make.
Lovely. Write that down, everybody. Stop your car and write
That
that.
makes sense.
Totally makes sense. Because like you're saying, when you're going back to your initial kind of vignette, that feeling of, oh my God, it's really hard and I've got to do this and I've got to do that, that's showing, like you said, if it doesn't have that ease of
Yeah,
that draw even, then it's a kind of no.
yeah.
But we've been so forced to going, well, even if you don't want to do it, you've
Just
got
do
to
it.
do it. You've got to do it.
It's
You've got to,
expected.
you know, it's just, and that's so out of alignment. That way of thinking is so out of alignment straight
Yeah,
away.
yeah.
You know, we're not taught, are we, at school? Well, you're
You,
saying in
you're
seven
taught,
years.
you're taught what to do, how to behave, what to wear, how to fill in your jotter, all this good stuff. And when you go into a role in a corporate world, in that beginning, you're given procedures, policies, ways to behave, only go for your tea break at this time or have your lunch at this time. So it's
Yeah,
that conformity that it works for lots of people. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that it doesn't. And if that is something that people are aligned to and feels good for them,
yeah,
have that structure, to have that direction, then that's absolutely the right thing for them. And that would be alignment because they wouldn't feel the resistance in there. They would feel, oh, this is good because someone just tells me what I need to do. I turn up, I do what I need to do, and I go home and I'm happy doing that. And it's that feeling at the end is going, yeah, I'm happy with that. That's cool. But if it's not, then that's the recognition that there might be something else that could feel better than what you do today and something to work towards.
yeah. Yes, I love that. And I think that like I say, I think there will be so many people who do feel slightly out of alignment with things, but don't quite know their next steps to put themselves back into alignment, or don't want to even look at the big thing, like now I'm the
Yeah,
wrong person,
yeah,
or I'm in the wrong job, like you say, makes
yeah,
loads of money, but I don't want to do it. You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
how do I'm interested because you said something about, just take one step at a time, just do one little thing. If someone is in a big feels that, I'm in the wrong relationship, we've got 3 kids, or, I've got this
Yeah.
high powered job, but in fact, this has happened a lot in my actual life, where particularly with guys, they've had really high powered jobs, and all they want to do is go and open a dog food shop, or
Yeah,
they're done. They just want to go and dig a hole, sort
yeah,
of
yeah.
somewhere. How, if they identify that, and they and they know that that's the thing, Alvina, what advice would you give them to help them on their way, other than going to see Alvina, obviously?
Or yourself.
Me. Oh, if you're not going to come and see us two, here's a little thing that Alvina can tell you that will help you along the path.
So my biggest thing is write down in paper everything that's in here. All your thoughts, feelings in the moment, free flowing, no judgment. Just let it all like, and just almost like talk to yourself on paper.
Yeah.
That's always a really good exercise that I've found works. And it works in any situation, even if it's I need to make a decision and it doesn't feel right. And just literally writing, so what if I make this decision, what happens? Not a pros and a cons, just a what is your thought process? Because then you can visualize what your thought process is and you'll start to see like a thread or a theme. And then you'll go, oh, that doesn't feel so good. Oh, that feels better. And just allowing the flow of writing can help you find your own conclusion that feels better than the current like restrictive decision or whatever that is,
Mm.
or feeling that you're feeling. It might be if it's a relationship situation, like you say, I'm not happy, but I can't imagine what it would be like and all the things that'll happen and the people will hurt and but actually I would be happier, but that's not fair on them. And I'm sure there's lots and lots of examples. But if it's the right thing for you, it's about trusting that you can do it in a respectful and compassionate way. And
Absolutely.
if it is the right way to go, then it's likely that the others will feel that release and relief as well, if
Yeah.
it's that situation. Or alternatively, getting together with if you don't know if you want to get together with someone or go into business with someone, you've got to sit with it for a while and just write around how you're feeling about it. Does it feel good? Does it feel restrictive? Do you think there's frustration will come in? How would you manage that? And it's all that preparation of the emotional responses that can come through that. So yeah, grabbing a journal, bit of paper, back of
Mm.
a fag packet in the olden days.
Yeah, they were good. That back of the old fag packet.
And failing that, just chat with someone you trust implicitly, or finding someone independent that you connect with that you can just throw it out there and there's no action or judgment. It's just it comes out of here. This is the key. Get it out of the conscious mind to help it make more sense to you.
Yep. Because that's where chaos lives and
Yeah,
disorder in the
yeah,
conscious mind, doesn't it? And I mean, it's like rocks in your head.
yeah, for sure.
I quite often say to my guys who come to see me that, it's like what you think, particularly if you're a good thinker and you're an intelligent person, what you think changes every nanosecond. So,
Mhm.
you've got 73,000 different scenarios,
Yeah,
but what you feel rarely changes. But all this stuff at the top, if you keep going, well, I've thought about this, it's going to be this, going to be this. Well, actually, by lunchtime, it's not going to be that. And then by
yeah,
supper time, it's going to be something different. If you, like you say, if you come in and you allow yourself to feel it, chances are this doesn't matter. It's quite clearly a stronger feeling that lasts for longer.
yeah.
And you
And
can
if it's something that you're excited by, oh, that feels like a good idea. Yeah, actually, that probably is the right yes or no answer, but it's not making a decision based out of fear. Or so for example, in that if you decided to connect with someone, it's not out of fear of isolation. It's
mm,
actually the opposite, and you want that relationship to be expansive and provide what you need in that space rather than that restrictive isolation. I'm lonely, blah 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 blah. Blah.
yeah.
Um,
I'm
you
too
want
old for this. I don't
I'm
if I
too
don't
old
need
for
someone to
this.
see
That's
me.
exactly, yes.
All of that
Oh,
stuff.
you're feeling this way. Way
Yeah.
too feeling this way.
Hmm. And so in just 7 years, you've come to this place of alignment. And did
Mhm.
you see it in your in the years before that? Did you have little flashes and signs of Alvina, what are you doing here? Kind of thing.
Yeah, every time I was looking for another job. But the difference is I didn't know what that's what it was back then.
Right.
That was just going with just like going with the flow. This is life. I didn't understand the psychology behind it or the emotions behind it and how your nervous system reacts. I didn't understand all of that. And that's only been in the 7 years. But, I look back and I can see that my core values of love, community, adventure, looking after people, helping people feel better in life and succeed in their own way has been there the whole time, or that independence of thinking, that creative space. When I had a job, I was offered a job role, it would always be a bit of this and a bit of this and a bit of this because I thrived in that environment rather than here's what you do, this is all you do. So I can see how it's played through and how I felt amazing in those roles, training people. So learning and development, doing some work with that, that was my happy place. And I
Hmm.
know now, well, that's because I was creative and I was helping people and
Yeah.
it was in alignment with the things that I love to do. And and I'm very grateful I can see that now.
Yeah. Gosh, that's so good. And you know, the word thing, and there's something else that I know that you're doing, which is you help people write and you help people, you inspire people by championing other people's stories to help them.
Yes. Yeah. To help them understand what lies beneath. That's really how I sort of create that
Mm.
intrigue and curiosity, which actually I didn't realize, but does kind of sit in with the journaling and this. It's storytelling. It's telling yourself a story and what stories are real and what stories are not real.
Exactly. And that's interesting what you said about what lies beneath, because when I was growing up, if I thought about what lies beneath, it would be some like murky, oh god, we'll go down there because there'll be all sorts of snaky, weird things there. But actually, what lies beneath all this conscious shit is the gold.
Mhm.
It's the truth.
Yeah, yeah, and that is your alignment with that feeling, that truth, and that's it's part of that process. Is the awareness element, is the journaling, the storytelling, the working out how these experiences have benefited you. It's not about unpicking things for the sake of unpicking them. It's just about recognizing them and saying, well, they're there. Like, we can't go back and change them. So they're there. What did I learn? What was the experience telling me? And also going back into decision making with the alignment, the decisions that I view as wrong decisions, I go back and think, what was when I said yes, was I in alignment or was I doing it out of a place of fear? Did I think it was going to fix the world if I did it? Did I think, whatever it was going to be at the time, it's hard to describe it, but when you look back at those decisions that you've made and they don't feel like they were the right ones, looking back at them, the chances are you made the decision out of a misaligned place of feeling.
Yes. Yeah.
And that's kind of where you can not have it repeat because you can say, well, actually, now I need to make decisions going forward. How might I make that decision differently?
Yeah. Because there's no failure, there's just feedback, isn't there? And that's what I keep saying to people.
Yes.
Just feedback. So
Just,
what did that tell you when you did that?
mhm.
And seeing if people can see all these things as just like data to their life story or their path, then it makes it less personalized, doesn't it? It makes it less fraught when you can just see it as data rather than, oh, I did that and it went really wrong.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that leads into like, helping people tell their story to the world. That is
Mm,
a real passion because I want to encourage people for their voices to be heard because the people at the other side who hear the story, not only have you become more clear and more aligned and more in flow, but the people who read that are the ones that you're having a positive impact on because it's a real story. It's not a formula. It's not a framework to follow. It's not, structured. It's kind of like, my goodness, this really happened. Oh my goodness, they tried that. Oh, that might work for me then. So it's that having that spreading the options that are out
Yeah.
there when people are maybe just going through the flow of every day, going to work, coming home, going to work, coming home, and not having that pause time. But if they just hear that one little glimmer of hope that, oh, maybe there is something different. Maybe I could open a dog food shop.
Yeah.
Well, why couldn't you?
And
Like,
I'm not alone.
who says that you could?
Really. And like I'm not the only person who's wanted to throw away this high power job to open
Yeah,
my dog food shop.
yeah, exactly. Or on the flip side as well, I'm going to go for that promotion. And who am I? Imposter syndrome. Who am I to do that? I'm just Bob from the block down the road or whatever. Who says that you're not wise enough, good enough, confident enough? But it's really what we're telling ourselves, isn't it?
Yeah.
Um,
It's all about stepping into our power, isn't it? Our individual power, so that we know
yeah.
that we
And
can.
understanding ourselves first and foremost. We get taught things, but we don't necessarily understand ourselves.
Oh no. And we've got to do what our mum and dad do. Or we've got to
Yeah,
do what mum and dad tell us to do. Then we've got to do what the teacher tells us to do. Then we've got to do what all the kids do and the pretty girls does and yeah, and then it's all that, and then it all gets, like you say, squished into this
yeah, yeah,
underneath all this stuff.
yeah. I just had this vision of this little, the wee squishy balls you get that go like really tiny when you squeeze them.
Yeah,
Like that's almost like how, and then we go, and they
we
become
do.
huge, they
Yeah.
pop up.
But then people get scared of that. They get scared of the popping up because they're like, what's happening to me? And blah, blah, blah. And it's like, no, you're just expanding into yourself.
Yes.
It's like, it's cool. Trust the process that you're.
Yeah, and it's okay. And it's safe to do that. You're not harming anybody.
I love this conversation so much. It's just been so nice to actually, yeah, hear it in a different way, like from my point of view. And I hope that anyone that's watching or listening is really receiving this information because it's gold. You can do it. You've got it within you. You always have done.
Yeah.
They, Alvina. They always have done. They just need to know which stories to keep and which stories to let go of.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
And talking of letting go of things, we're
Mhm.
getting into our showing my Gen X age here. We're getting into the lethal weapon stage of the podcast,
Uh-huh.
which is Roger Murtaugh when he looked at Mel Gibson in that bit and he's like, I'm too old for this shit. Um, what are you ready to let go of? What are you too old for? What have you had enough of?
I've had enough of closed-minded people.
Ooh, tell me more.
I genuinely feel you can give everybody an opportunity and everyone the opportunity to be open-minded, to listen. But when people close you down and their ego takes over and, puts the barrier up, the reason it's not in a, what's the word? I'm trying to explain. So when I say I'm done with that, it's just more I consciously remove myself from that because it actually hurts, like because I want to help. Like I so want to open the window, even just like a tiny little bit. And you can try so hard with some people and they just will not open that little crack of interest, open-mindedness to listen. They just shut it down really, really quickly. I understand why they do, but deep within me, that feeling and emotion is, that sadness of, "God, I just wish you would just allow that love in, allow that kindness in, and yeah, I just, I suppose I'm only saying it, and I'm not doing it in a nasty way that I would be like culling everybody that's, everyone that has a closed mind. There are reasons behind it, and I totally understand that. I think what I'm saying is, as I've gotten older, my conscious choice is different. Um, just like, do I want to go raving? Not really, no. I would rather.
Closed-minded people anyway. I want to go with them.
And I don't know if that's controversial saying if you've got a closed mind, because I know the benefit of opening your mind slightly. And I think that's what's, now that I'm saying this all out loud, it's about frustration actually, which is my not self in human design. So if I
I,
get frustrated that I can't help someone and I'm desperately wanting to help them,
yep.
and then they're just like, nah. And then it is just that, oh, okay, I wish I could, but I'm not
I
gonna. I suppose it's the trying. It's like that's what I would leave behind is the continuation and that energy that you spend trying and trying and trying. I would much rather just be done with it and go, do you know, if and when I'm still here.
yes. Yeah. And that's a really, and when you're somebody who really wants to do good in the world and really help, and you know you can, and you know you have done,
Yeah.
it's really hard, isn't it? And it almost becomes a thing of, you know, it's only been in the last 3 or 4 years that I've managed to stop that myself, where I've actually had to go, you know what, you're not interested. I'm not going to fight you on this. Although you seem to be the person that really needs this at the moment, you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to drop it
Mhm.
because, and it's kind of freeing for us as well because it
It's
gives
a
us,
respectful way
yes,
of
oh,
stepping aside. That's probably the best ways. Not like dumping it in the past, but like stepping aside in that compassionate way to say, okay, that's cool. That's
and
cool.
because you're so aligned, your vibe is going to be reaching out to those people who are so wanting to be in contact with you. You know what I mean? Your tribe will be assembling around you, won't it? So if someone isn't looking like they want to be in the tribe, then it's,
Yeah.
you know, good. Because
No problem.
oh,
No
oh,
problem.
absolutely, it's not, they're not, it's not their time, it's not whatever, but it's not for us to do that, is it? It's for us to be like, to continue being us and just let them access it whichever way they can, if ever.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
it's not that I don't entertain and try to support and help people in that space, because absolutely that's my thing. But there comes a point where you're protecting your own energy and space and respectful of the individual as well.
Yeah. And respectful of yourself.
Yeah.
What I'm hearing is that you're saying you're respecting yourself as well. There's only so much you can do, in those quarters.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's really interesting. I just thank you so much for
Do you think
spending.
it was going to be like roller skates or something?
I did read that, and I
I
was
got
almost
a bit
like,
deep there rather than just saying, I'm leaving behind the tapes and
do you know what I love is that people have been, what I've heard in all of the podcasts that we've done so far is people, the thing that people are really doing is they're choosing themselves and
Mm,
their energy. So from people who are just getting rid of the drama or people who are just not dealing, you know what I mean? Actually, what they're really saying is that I'm saying yes to my own peace,
yes, I love it. I love that.
in different ways. But yeah, the roller skates, yeah. Yeah.
It's probably not a wise move.
I've never been able to stand on roller skates ever. You know, I
Now
feel
you
Steve
know I'm going to put that challenge out there.
Gordon Bennett. I would just be, oh my God, I'd have to be like dressed like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man just so I could, you know what I mean? I'd be like, whoa. But yeah, it's yeah, choosing yourself. It's a choosing yourself thing, isn't it? And I love that. And
Yeah,
there is time, everyone, for you to choose yourselves. No,
yeah, there is. Just taking advantage of that moment. Say what feels good for me.
it's all it takes.
Yeah.
just that little bit of interest. Thank you, Alvina, so much for joining me. And I love your words.
You. Thank
I'm
you
going to
for
have to take a
chatting.
call. Oh, it's been so good. Always a pleasure to talk to you. Thank
Always.
you so much. And
Very
thank
well.
everybody who's been listening. And I really hope you've enjoyed this. Seek out Alvina if you would love any support with this. Um, and thanks so much. See you next week. Maybe I was going to say see you next week. I don't know when it's going to be the next one. See you at some point. Good.